Hi, I'm Ian Varley, CEO of Eagle Business Credit. Welcome to The Money Factor. On today's show, we're going to be talking about some trends affecting the staffing industry and specifically what challenges are facing small businesses when it comes to hiring new employees. That's today on The Money Factor. Again, I'm Ian from Eagle. Thank you for joining The Money Factor. I am delighted to have with me today Erik Sizemore, President of the Georgia Staffing Association. Erik, thank you for coming.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fabulous.
Awesome. Appreciate you being here and sharing some of your wisdom and experience about what's going on right now. It's really important for our viewers and listeners to hear your expertise, particularly, what are some of the trends that you're seeing out there in the staffing industry?
Well, the staffing industry is attached to the economy at the base level labor, people.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a massive shift. We've seen shifts in wages being paid. We've seen shifts in bill rates going up.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a change from the temp to hire model and contract model into more of a direct hire model to try to have access to the best talent. So we're totally in flux. And in our industry, that's what we're looking for. A totally stable economy tends to flatten out our growth. But when things are growing or there's trouble finding people, that's when we flourish.
It's the disruption that really the staffing agencies help fulfill, isn't it? And whether that's growth or whether it's just difficulty finding people, they're there to help.
Absolutely. Well, the problems are on both sides.
Yeah.
If there's a high unemployment rate, a lot of people out there, you put up an ad looking for a position, you have 700 respondents.
Sure.
Or the other side, there's a very low unemployment number, you're trying to find somebody, you have no qualified respondents responding to it. But as staffing services, we are geared and developed to be able to utilize technology, our interpersonal relationships, our grassroots recruiting elements together to be able to take care of our clients, where you might only be able to source 1 to 5 resumes before you're trying to set up interviews.
Right.
We can source 25 to 30.
Exactly. The reach that you have, is just amazing. And I know when I've needed people here at Eagle, we'll put up an ad and we'll go to ZipRecruiter, so some of the online things, and that's okay. But we really find that the agencies that we go to are able to, source the people that we need. But it is getting really hard at the minute, it seems, what with the change, with the pandemic, the federal unemployment benefits ending, all of those things, there still seems to be a massive shortage in people.
I think a lot of people have adjusted their lifestyle.
Right.
A lot of people have made adjustments so they don't have to take whatever jobs available to them. They can be a lot more picky regarding an opportunity they're going to take.
Right.
There's a tremendous amount of competition just in this office park alone. There could be companies competing for the same talent. Everybody wants to work in a geographical area that's close to them, that's convenient. And so it becomes a real dog-eat-dog kind of environment to find a qualified person.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of companies also that we talk to are experiencing significant growth. And their concerns are that they cannot, find the right people quick enough. We're always talking to them saying, you need to find an agency, you need to do this, you need to find the people. And if you can't do it, they have, better outreach, better sources for those folks. But how are you tapping into those in order to fulfill them? Are you finding that your members have got, record numbers of open positions, or what's going on?
We definitely have more open positions than people.
Sure.
So it has shifted.
Yeah.
It used to shift to the number of people that you're submitting to a company. Now it's shifted to the number of people that are retaining at that company once they're there.
Right.
It used to be that people use a lot of contract work, short-term work. Well, the labor pool out there doesn't want to accept that now.
No.
The labor pool's expectation has changed. They want full-time positions, direct hire positions, they want higher pay rates, and all these type of things. It's forcing companies to reconcile the changes in our marketplace.
Right. And definitely there's a lot of talk about, salaries and wage rates and those things, benefits, additional things that people are needing, particularly, things like fast food industry, the sign-on bonuses, which I'd never heard of before, that are going on. So it's really, really, I'm finding people, like you said, are rethinking what they want from a career. And, there's change is always good, but I know that the challenges that, you guys are helping your members fulfill are quite significant. We fund a lot of small companies that are growing, as you know, and when we hear they're struggling to find people, that's a good and a bad thing. We know they're growing, we know we can help them. But again, we always throw back and say, well, there's no simple solution other than looking at the level of benefits that you're paying, working with a good recruiter, and those types of things in order to be able to answer that immediate need.
Also, working with your own company culture.
Yeah.
Retention takes a lot of elements, right? It's not just a salary range. When you lift down at what's important to people, and you try to ask them to put it into order, compensation, flexibility, access to benefits, strong career pathing, all the different things, you'll be very surprised how different groups of people will source those differently and change the level of priority. So really, it's based on your company and what you're able to do, you got to look internally and to determine what are your strengths and what can you offer. Because compensation no longer just is that salary range. They look at the entire package.
It is
as compensation.
Yeah, the total package and the culture, I think, are really important, really strong things for people now. And they have choices. It's a buyer's market when it comes to looking for jobs, isn't it? So
more so than that, it's a transparent market. Now, they'll go onto Glassdoor, they'll go onto many other sources to look at the reviews that's happening with your company. People are much more engaged with going online and looking at your news releases, your plan for growth, things along those lines. Average life expectancy of employees now has dropped. Now we're looking at 2 to 3 years, rather it used to be 5 to 10. And back in my mom's day and my grandparents' day, it was your entire life for the gold watch at the end.
Right.
So we've come a long way since living and dying with one company.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the last few years with the pandemic and everything has really shaken people up, and they're looking now at, okay, what do they want? And if it's not what they want, they're going to be ready to move on, right?
Well, for us in the staffing industry, it becomes very difficult to navigate. If companies are in distress, that might open up their need for people.
Sure.
It might slow down their ability to pay. They might be feeling financial hardships because their companies are not able to keep up with them. So we get into this gap where you have growth potential opportunity, you have orders that are there to be filled, and now you're in a situation of how can you best fulfill that need without putting yourself into a financially tricky position.
Exactly, and that's where we help. With factoring, we help a lot of staffing companies. There is that classic cash flow gap where you've got to pay the temps on a weekly basis, the timesheet's coming in. Maybe you can only bill it out monthly, or maybe you're only going to get paid monthly. So we do find that many people turn to factoring when they're in the staffing industry to really sort their cash flow, particularly if they're growing. But even if they're not, and they're just turning over, we can help them with their cash flow, because there's nothing worse than a slow paying customer. You want to add more people, you want to service them more, but they don't pay your bills. You can pass that responsibility for following up on your invoicing to us. And we do it all day long. It's part of the service. So not only are you getting a cash up front when you send the invoice through with the timesheet, you're going to get paid the next day. You don't have to wait 30, 45, 60 days. We're going to help you follow up with those receivables too. So I love the synergy between what we do and what you guys do. And the staffing sector for us is a really, really important sector that we know we can provide direct benefit to. So are your members also seeing people slowing down with payments, or?
In some cases, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what impacts business ultimately impacts us.
Gotcha.
So as things get more difficult, what presents opportunity for us, at the same time as presenting challenges to make sure that if we fulfill it, it's going to be healthy for us down the line.
Right. Having a growing company is a great thing. It is a lot of stress for the business owners. They have so many hats to wear and things to juggle. So you guys provide a solution on that side to help them find the right people at the right time. We provide a solution on the financing side, because again, if they're growing fast, they've got to have the ability to know that their cash flow is going to withstand that growth, that they can take on that order. You've got to find the people for them.
Yes.
And we've got to help them fund that, because they know that their customer may not pay as quickly as they need them to. So it is a great match. Again, really proud to be a member of the Georgia Staffing Association here at Eagle. You guys do great work helping not only in the state, but also part of the larger American Staffing Association as well. So it's a massive market. And again, can't recommend enough for anybody watching, work with a great employment agency. If you can't find one, go to the Georgia Staffing Association or the American Staffing Association. There are thousands of members there. It's not difficult. And they're ready, willing, and able to help you find the right talent for your business. If you're struggling right now, and a lot of people are finding talent, you've got to find somebody like Erik to help you.
Well, I appreciate that.
My pleasure. And again, we love helping staffing companies here at Eagle as well. If you need to grow your business and you have money tied up, your cash flow is tied up in your receivables, there's no better way to help release that if you look for a factoring company to partner with you, not only for the cash, but also the receivables servicing.
Outstanding.
Well, thank you, Erik.
I appreciate being here. I want to thank everybody else. And remember, call the GSA. We'll help you out.
Awesome. Again, I'm Ian with Eagle Business Credit. This is Erik Sizemore with the Georgia Staffing Association. Thank you for watching The Money Factor.